Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6", weighed 245, kinda broad at the shoulder, narrow at the hip, and everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John.
Halo Yuro Friends, hari ini kami lagi ada di kantor barunya PT Audio Plus Indonesia untuk menghadiri launching dari produk terbarunya yaitu Art in Motion. Pengen tahu keseruan hari ini? Kita saksikan di video ini ya.
We can do better. We could be chasing dreams. We know what's right, and we know how it feels. Yeah, we can do better. We can make a change for real. Yeah, we can do a lot better. We can be facing fears. We know what's up, and we know how to get there. Yeah, we can be stars. We can be the best. Just put us to the test and we'll show the world there's another.
Nah Yuro Friend, sekarang kita sudah bersama Marian Gadau dari Art in Motion. Kita pengen ngobrol-ngobrol sedikit sama Marian, biar dia bisa menjelaskan sendiri tentang produknya yang menarik ini. Hai Marian, it's very nice to see you here in Indonesia.
Thank you.
So we already met in Salzburg.
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yes,
2024.
I remember.
So can you introduce yourself just a little bit to
Yes,
my audience?
I'm Marian from Sweden, the creator of Art in Motion. Welcome, Indonesia. Happy to meet you.
We are happy to meet you also. So we already witnessed the presentation of your product and all the beautiful speakers.
Thank you.
Can you explain just the concept behind the name and behind each unique product of the Art in Motion?
Sure, yes. The concept behind the Art in Motion brand, first of all. For me, the Art in Motion brand has started well before the production of the speakers. So I was mostly car audio installers like you, and my work was kind of combining the freedom that you get when you're very young and you start getting your driver's license first, and you take your car and you drive wherever you want, and you have the freedom to choose what to do, with the let's say highly emotional charge, listening to sound in a very good way, because music in general for us is not the focus, it's also how the music sounds.
Yes.
And for me it also represents different kind of freedom when you're able to drive and listen as loud as you want, as go as far as you want.
I can relate with that story.
Exactly. So I cannot see any better way, or at least at my young age, when these feelings that I got for car audio, I did not find any better way to listen to music than while driving or in the car. Because at the time I was living in a normal, let's say, apartment housing, and you always have neighbors, you cannot play loud, you always have to take care of hours and all this kind of stuff. Plus, having a good sound system in home means to kind of sacrifice one room or build it specifically for your sound system. Whereas in cars, of course, we have to do the same work,
Yes.
but then we have the freedom to enjoy it anytime, anywhere. So for me, Art in Motion means exactly that. Music is an artistic expression.
Okay.
So the artists who play music, they convey their art while we are in motion. So
Okay.
that's the concept of the brand name. And if we go for the lineup, first of all, the first one was Time Machine.
Okay.
And as you know, any recording that has been done with any music existing on this planet has been done in the past. Even if a recording is being done now, we will be able to listen to it
Yes.
later.
It's like a time capsule. Yeah.
Yes, so whatever we do, we have to listen to a moment captured in the past.
Yes.
And in my opinion, if the sound is very well put together, whether in car or in home or whatever, if you close your eyes, you see the singers in front of you, you understand the room space, you can hear all the details for every instrument, also depending on, of course, how well the recording has been made. But in general, stereo is an amazing thing. You have two sources of music, and you create like a three-dimensional world in front of you. And because the sound system is very dependent, you can get this feeling if the sound is right. otherwise you won't get it. So I named the Time Machine speaker lineup like this because we strive to make the sound system really feel like it transports you back in time in the room with the artists.
So basically we can feel the emotion and the
Yes.
experience while the music was recorded back then.
And especially we are feeling exactly what the artist wanted to convey.
Yes.
Because all recordings, voices of artists, ways of playing instruments, all of that is very specific to each band, each recording, and is the part of the art that artists want to put through.
Okay. So what does make the speaker is special?
General, let's say the big picture part that we really focused on from the beginning, even though we realized it's way more difficult than initially thought, was extreme high power in the motor system on a very, very low diaphragm, very low moving mass of the diaphragm.
Okay.
And obviously this anybody can achieve, I realize now, but there's a reason why this is not widely spread, because the development curve is extremely difficult. The more you increase energy in the motor system, the more you're shaking the cone, and the more that cone starts to produce sounds that are not in the recording. Because as any material, it has a flexing point, it has its weakness. So this was the most difficult part of the development. But in the end, there was a simpler way. Reduce motor power, increase cone weight, then you solve problems. And the other way around was to just keep on developing until we can keep this very low moving mass and extreme power and still get well-behaved sound. At least in the spectrum the speaker plays. If it's a mid-range, it will be well behaving in a wide area where mid-range plays. Of course, you might find some problems in the tweeter region or in the high frequency region where it doesn't matter, you don't use that part anymore. And the same for tweeter and for mid-bass and for everything else.
So how long does it take for you until you find the right recipe for the speaker?
It was 3.5 years, the initial step with the Time Machine, which was not complete part of the picture, because one part is developing the speaker to a place where the prototypes are sounding good and are satisfying for us to show it to the world. And then it's a different step trying to make them reproducible. So it's still some development, let's say, of the way the speakers are being brought to the market and multiplied.
So I find that the name of each speaker is unique. Can you explain just a little bit?
Yes. For us, sound is about speed. And of course, in general, Art in Motion and Time Machine, especially Time Machine, have to do with time already. So if you look at the subdivision of time, the smallest metrics you can measure time with, you can go to millisecond, you can go to microsecond, and so on. But there's smaller subdivisions that not so many people know about. So this is the name Quecto, is the absolute smallest division of measurement.
The fastest one.
It's also the fastest one. Obviously, being tweeter, it plays more high frequency.
Now
but
I see.
It's the lowest subdivision of time that you can measure as, let's say, technological human beings. It's 10 to the minus 30, so it's a very, very short amount of time if we measure time. So Quecto is the tweeter, then going towards slower and slower, of course, is the Yocto, which is the mid-range. Zepto is the woofer, then Atto and Femto being the subwoofers.
Okay, so you already presented about the other lineup from the speaker, which is the Continuum, right?
Yes.
So how is it similar and how is it different from the Time Machine?
It's as similar as it can be, because after all the experience of development we had with the Time Machine, we only introduced one more limitation. Before, the limitation were not related to budget. There were only limitations of size constraints, because we all know 6.5 is a very usable size in car audio, and also I know volume limitation is usually regarding boxes for the subwoofers, so that's why there is an 8-inch and there is a 10-inch, because the 8-inch is the one who can play in a small volume, while the 10-inch can play extremely deep. So that needs bigger volume. So going back to your question, Continuum, as the name suggests, was a continuation of our work, where we only added one more factor, which was price. How can we get the same amount or the same quality of sound and the same, let's say, parameters and sound signature, keep the sound signature, while we make the speaker less expensive in different ways. So of course we look at everything, but a lot of parts were already developed for Time Machine. So the cheapest solution was to use what was already developed. So for the mid-range and for the mid-bass, we use the same cone, roughly same, let's say, moving parts. Of course, surround, maybe voice coils are different. Voice coil former is different because the Time Machine has full titanium voice coils, which are very interesting in terms of sound and in terms of weight. Inductance and other factors are going into play because titanium is not a magnetic material, but it is influencing magnetism in a way or another. So on the Continuum, we choose to move away from the titanium, which increased the cost quite a lot. We choose to move away to the custom CNC build frames, and we use injected aluminum in molded and powder coating, quite standard for high quality speakers.
Yes.
And where possible, we use ferrite magnets. Like in the big 4-inch mid-range, we use a ferrite magnet, which is quite big, to try to keep as much energy as possible. And because that was not enough, we added small neodymium magnets inside the voice coil.
So you mix.
Same for the Zepto. So it's kind of a hybrid neodymium ferrite magnet, which is not so common, by the way. But still, by having a small peel of neodymium, the cost increase is not huge.
Yeah.
So it was always a balancing act.
Yes.
How can we keep it as close as possible to the Time Machine, but try
Not
to reduce the cost?
sacrificing too much,
Yes. Yes, exactly. So in terms of they are as similar as possible, considering the cost is close to a quarter of the Time Machine price. Yeah.
So basically the same experience with the fraction of the price.
I wouldn't say the same experience because, as you ask, the main difference that you would hear would be in the realm of dynamic resolution detail. That would be the main experience or the main losses. Plus, the Time Machine, due to their huge power in the motor, are much wider spectrum. Not intended. The 6.5 woofer is a woofer, so we never intended it to be playing up to 13 kilohertz, for example, but it does. Not with the right energy, and it's not saying that you should use it,
Yes.
playing that wide spectrum, but this helps with the easier finding a crossover point
yes.
available.
Yes.
Also extreme FS, very low FS for the Time Machine is 32, while Continuum is 48. So these kind of differences just occur due to price reduction, and most of it is in the motor system.
So basically from the numbers you are explaining, the Continuum itself is already good enough if we compare to the other products available in the market, right?
Yes, and the main reason for this Continuum to exist was that while experiencing working with Koenigsegg cars, which are extremely high-end, and we go to the extreme amount of detail levels at the time to achieve maximum possible in automotive world, you can also only touch few people. Those cars were built in limited numbers of 80, now probably a little bit more, but not much. And it will be similar with Time Machine. It's still a high cost product.
Yes.
And that was never even in the mindset, because the initial, let's say the Time Machine is built for myself.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to experience the absolute maximum possible in terms of sound for me. And now we have a chance to touch more people with this kind of sound and this kind of sound signature
Yes.
through our brand with the Continuum.
Okay. So this is your second time to Indonesia, right?
Yes,
From
last
our
year.
conversation before.
Last year.
How do you find the car audio market and the development, and how do you see it in Indonesia?
I think there's extreme passion for sound quality, and there is extremely passionate people. I can see from the questions you guys asked today, from the way the presentation was going through, everybody was interested, everybody had very relevant and important questions about sound or the actual results, what you get. So it is for sure a market that it's perfect for the product in terms of what it was built for. We never built it for anything other than making people that actually enjoy music and enjoy listening to high quality music, making them happy. It started with me first. This is what I want, this is what I'm searching for. It took years of kind of the level of need that I have to enjoy music went up very far, and have to keep up with it. And I know for sure that for you guys is the same, because otherwise you wouldn't be so interested and you wouldn't be joining in so big number. So I thank everybody for joining.
Okay. So what's next after this?
There is more happening, because of course once you start the brain thinking about sound quality, about car audio, about technology in general, it's very hard to stop it.
Yeah.
So
You can never stop.
you go to sleep, you go to bed, and you have all kinds of ideas. And some news, some things are happening, and I think in both spectrums, going high and going low with Continuum, there will be some new development soon. Some part of it you already know, but I think it's we try not to speak too much about it until it's ready.
Yeah.
Maybe when you're in Salzburg, bring your friends and your equipment, and you can see something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Marian, for your time. So we also hope to see more cars with Art in Motion in Indonesia. So thank you very much.
I'm sure. Yes, thank you.
To fall in love so bad, like in the movies or the dreams. You're like in the movies or the dreams.
Nah, Yuro Friend, sekarang kita sudah bersama dengan Pak Cahyadi dari PT Audio Plus Indonesia. Sekarang kita mau ngobrol-ngobrol sedikit nih kok tentang acara hari ini.
Ya.
Tolong dijelasin sedikit kok tentang konsep acara hari ini.
Ya, hari ini kita launching produk dengan brand atau merek Art in Motion dari Sweden. Nah, kenapa kita selalu launching dengan mengundang dealer? Karena pada prinsipnya kita nggak cuma bisa kirim salesman gitu, nggak efektif. Jadi kita selalu kumpulin, kita presentasikan bahwa juga brand ownernya datang, Marian Gadau, menjelaskan produknya. Jadi dealer itu memahami secara konsep produk ini seperti apa. Dan yang paling penting, merasakan atau mendengarkan langsung di mobil demo kita. Suaranya kayak gini loh. Jadi ketika bertemu customer itu bisa menjelaskan karakter suaranya itu seperti ini gitu. Nah, itu yang kita bawa pada event hari ini. Gitu.
Oke. Nah, Ko Andre, kenapa Ko Andre tertarik untuk memasukkan brand Art in Motion ini ke Indonesia?
Gini, kalau tertarik itu pada waktu 2024 ya, kita sempat ke Euro Final, kita dengerin mobil dia kan, yang Master Unlimited itu. Nah, saya suka suaranya. Lalu kita coba masukin dan kita install ini juga, wah bagus suaranya gitu. Ini mengingatkan ketika saya dulu bangun Grandis dengan speaker Micro Precision Set Studio, itu suaranya wah kayak gini, bahkan ini menurut saya lebih refine, lebih bagus gitu. Dan ini bisa cocok dengan warna suara kita, dan saya yakin banyak banget penggemar suara seperti ini, dan itu bisa kita jangkau. Dan terbukti pada event hari ini dealer-dealer tuh suka dengan suara seperti ini. Wah, ini yang kita tuh bassnya bisa begini ya, ini begini. Karena itu suara cepat sekali dan dynamic sekali, tapi enak, tebel, vokalnya itu bulat, padat gitu. Jadi tipikal suara seperti ini ya zaman Grandis dulu populer, dan sekarang saya yakin akan jadi populer lagi. Dan juga banyak orang-orang dari home audio yang kita bisa tarik ke car audio ini, karena suara ini tipikal suara home audio amplifier style gitu.
Jadi ada nilai nostalgianya juga nih ya?
Ada nilai nostalgia, ada nilai paling utamanya kita cocok sama suaranya gitu. Ini suara gue banget gitu. Dan saya yakin pasar banget nih suara kayak gini, orang suka.
Nah, Ko Andre, kan Audio Plus ini sudah ada beberapa produk line up ya, yang bisa dibilang mulai dari high end sampai ultra high end yang sudah ada sebelum dari Art in Motion ini ya. Nah, menurut Ko Andre, distinctive point dari Art in Motion si Time Machine dan Continuum ini dibandingkan dengan line up speaker high end yang sudah dipegang Audio Plus ini juga, kira-kira ada perbedaannya di mana?
Beda. Jadi pertama dia ini sama seperti kita, startnya dari installer. Jadi mindset ketika membuat produk adalah mindset installer. Mindset installer itu akan berpikir bahwa customer itu nggak hanya satu jenis musik gitu. Jadi akan menggunakan musik slow, akan memainkan musik kencang. Jadi konsep dari Time Machine ini diputar pelan enak, diputar kenceng juga enak tanpa harus pindah settingan. Nah, itu yang menurut saya berbeda dengan merek-merek lain gitu yang memang sudah saya pegang. Yang pertama itu mindsetnya installer. Terus kedua finishingnya juga sangat bagus karena dia ini kerja di Koenigsegg, jadi mindsetnya adalah bikin sesuatu tuh harus sempurna, bukan hanya sisi teknikalnya tapi juga estetiknya begitu.
Oke, Ko Andre. Nah, kan tadi udah ada mobil demo Range Rover yang menggunakan full line up dari Art in Motion Time Machine ya.
Time Machine, betul.
Dari mulai tweeter, mid range, mid bass sampai subwoofernya full line up dari Time Machine. Kesan Ko Andre waktu mobil ini pertama kali bunyi lalu habis itu di fine tune gimana tuh?
Ya, terus terang ini pertama kali saya tepatnya setting mobil ini. Jadi butuh mengenal dulu gitu. Pertama bunyi kaget dulu gitu, bassnya enak ya, cepet gesit, nendang tapi cepet berhentinya itu nggak langsung hilang tapi juga pas gitu, nggak terlalu berbuntut, pas gitu. Oke, kesan pertama itu bass dulu. Terus dia
bener
punya,
gitu bassnya ya?
enak gitu, enak banget. Dan udah lama banget saya nggak denger bass kayak gini gitu. Terus kemudian denger mid bassnya, solid juga gitu. Dari ukur aja kita udah lihat, diukur itu nurut gitu speakernya. Jadi begitu bunyi juga enak tuh, mid bassnya kontrol, stand up bassnya itu diem gitu, enak gitu, tapi nggak tipis gitu. Terus bunyi mid-range-nya termasuk yang paling saya suka. Jadi vokal size-nya itu besar, realistik seperti kita ini, nggak kecil gitu. Realistik, besar seperti kita ngomong gitu. Dan high-nya juga enak. Jadi ya itu impresi pertamanya. Tapi memang butuh 4-5 hari untuk tuning sampai bisa jadi seperti ini.
Oke, Ko Andre. Nah, ini kayaknya nggak afdol nih kalau kita nggak dengerin langsung di mobilnya.
Iya.
Habis ini saya bakal turun juga untuk dengerin mobilnya. Nanti kita ngobrol-ngobrol lagi ya setelah ini.
Ya, siap.
Thank you banget Ko
Ya,
Andre
thank
untuk
you
waktunya.
Yuti.
Oke Yuro friend, sekarang nggak afdol rasanya kalau kita nggak dengerin hasil suara langsung dari Range Rover yang sudah menggunakan full line up dari Art in Motion Time Machine. Yuk sekarang kita turun untuk dengerin suaranya.
Every morning at the mine, you could see him arrive. He stood 6'6", weighed 245, kinda broad at the shoulder and narrow at the hip. And everybody knew you didn't give no lip to Big John. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John. Big John. Well, nobody seemed to know when John called home. He just drifted into town and stayed all alone. Didn't say much, kinda quiet and shy. And if he spoke at all, he just said hi to Big John. Somebody said he came from New Orleans, where he got into a fight over a Cajun queen, and a crashing blow from a huge right hand sent a Louisiana fella to the promised land. Big John, come on. Big John, Big John, Big Bad John. Well, then came the day at the bottom of the mine when a timber cracked and men started crying. Miners were praying and hearts beat fast, and everybody thought they'd breathe their last. Except John. Big John. Big John. Yeah. Big Bad John.
My first love, your every breath that I take, your every step I make, I want to share all my love with you. No one else will do. And your eyes, they tell me how much you care. Oh yes, you will always be my endless love.
Nah Yuro Friends, gimana suaranya? Kita udah sama-sama dengerin rekaman dari suara di mobil Range Rover dengan menggunakan sistem speaker dari Art in Motion Time Machine. Isi kolom komentar di bawah ya, apa menurut kalian suaranya bagaimana? Nah, untuk kalian yang penasaran, pengen tahu apa aja yang kami lagi kerjain di Yuro Auto, bisa follow dan cek Instagram kami di @yuro.auto. Yang pengen ngobrol-ngobrol, konsultasi, boleh juga WhatsApp di nomor di bawah ini. Dan yang masih penasaran, pengen mampir ke workshop juga boleh di Ruko Mendrisio 1, Blok D nomor 20. So, see you on the next video.